Hey everybody, Dave Brown here from Okuma Fishing Tackle, and today's Tune Up Tuesday, we're going to talk about 3 top baits for your warm weather bass fishing. So the first bait we're going to talk about is the jig. You can fish the jig any time of year, but in the summertime, in this warm weather time, it's a very effective bait. Now to fish that bait, all you're going to do is you're going to make those long casts and you're going to slowly work it back. Jig it, you know, it's called a jig. Jig it, work it up, drop it down, work it up, drop it down, or just a straight, slow retrieve. Very effective. Those bass a lot of times will follow it all the way to the boat. So when you're bringing it back, make sure you actually work your bait all the way to the boat. Don't give up early, don't make a long cast and stop halfway and just start grinding it in. But make that cast, work that structure. If you're working like here in Lake Fork, if you're working those stumps and all those branches, make sure you work it up and over the top. The next bait we're gonna look at is the deep diver. This happens to be a 10XD that's gonna dive down in that 20-foot range. So you don't want to do it right against the shore. This is going to be a little bit more of your offshore type of bait. Same thing here, you have a lot of stumps, you have a lot of brush and rocks. You're going to make a long cast with this bait and you're going to get it down to the bottom. So maybe a couple fast cranks, get it down deep. Then you're going to slowly work it back. What that's going to do is that bait's going to nose its way all the way back to the boat. When it comes to a stump and you feel it stop, just slow down and stop. It'll actually float its way back up and then start it again. Every time it hits something, you want that thing to keep bouncing along those stumps and those rocks. So it's gonna hit, you might feel like you're stuck, just stop reeling, it'll come back up, and then you can start working it back again. That's a deep diver, very effective. It's a reaction bite a lot of time, especially in this warm weather. Those bass are hunkered down deep, and that's gonna get it down to them. It's gonna be a reaction. They're gonna turn on that bait real fast. The other one out here is the big worm. This is the 10-inch worm. It's Texas rigged. It's gonna be a lot like that jig. So you're gonna make those long casts and you're gonna really slowly work this bait back. So work it all the way out there and then slowly just lift that rod, wind in your slack, lift that rod tip, wind in that slack. What you wanna do there is keep that bait along the bottom. You wanna feel those rocks, you wanna feel that brush, feel those sticks. And as it's kind of just bouncing along there lazily, the tail's kind of moving along, and that's when you're gonna get those attacks. A lot of times, and you're just kind of let it almost dead stick, that's when those bass are gonna hit that thing. But that's 3 baits for your summer fishing. You got your jig, you got your deep diver, and you got your big worms. For more tips, tricks, and techniques, make sure you visit okumafishingusa.com.